1971. We woke up in a different world, where the Cold War ended along with the Vietnam carnage. All because of the Dome. The Dome. A territory full of anomalous artifacts, phenomena, and organisms. We still don't know what it is. An alien city? Some kind of a testing ground or storage? Whatever it is, no living thing trapped under the Dome can escape it. Yet even this did not stop the research. The major powers created the Cronus Megacorporation to develop and explore the Dome. Its secrets became a lucrative business. The Spires station was built on top of the Dome to export the artifacts and import supplies and personnel. The city of Crystal Sands grew at the foot of the Dome, eventually becoming a major transportation hub. All this required thousands of employees, and there was no shortage of candidates. Romantics, pragmatists, and adventurers of all trades swarmed recruiting centers around the globe, seeking jobs at Cronus. You were one of those people. In 1976, your application was approved, and you went under the Dome towards the future. Whether a good one or a bad one, only time will tell. A tall woman is watching an ad playing on the monitor, arms crossed. The polished to a shine badge on her black overalls reads, Elsa Olafson, Security Service. She glances at you and offers her hand in a businesslike manner.
Greetings. Please take all necessary precautions. By that I mean, don't turn your back on him. I just follow orders. Even if his crime was embezzlement, I have to keep him cuffed. Those are the rules.
Olafson shrugs in a sharp, mechanical way, as if racking the slide of an assault rifle.
Our friends from the administration didn't deign to inform me about this man's record. Could be I'm escorting a serial killer. It's corporate policy, you know.
She gives the Silver a vengeful look. The Orange is dressed in a new jumpsuit. The shiny badge on his chest reads, Quentin Bisley. He's side-eyeing the screen skeptically. Despite his tired, grim expression, his gaze is open and friendly. However, the general impression is unmistakable. There's something frightening about Bisley. The Orange's face stretches into a broad smile, baring his dentures to the world.
Like everyone, duh. In a black car, under guard. There's other guys too, the ones who go through the front door.
He nods at the black-winged woman beside him. Her nose wrinkles in displeasure, but she says nothing. Quentin raises his hands to examine the devices.
They call them humane handcuffs. How about that? Truth is, there ain't nothing humane about them. They zap you real hard the moment you get your hands on a gun. But they sure look nice.
A guy wearing thick spectacles thrusts out a sweaty hand.
Monty James, Silverwing.
He glances down at your badge.
Ah, it's you. I found your file extremely interesting. And your CV, wonderful. Inspiring, really. When I had the opportunity to look over the files of my future colleagues, I couldn't resist. I don't want to sound boastful, but silver level clearance has its advantages.
Monty makes a ring with his thumb and forefinger.
You were number 63,784 on the waiting list, but you were lucky enough to get into the Dome after only 16 months. Besides that, zero, nada, absolutely nothing. You're a dark horse for both the Foundation and myself. How exactly did you end up in this wing? Oh, I see. Well, if you ever decide to sew together a Frankenstein's monster from the bodies of dead oranges, be sure to let me know.
The Silver laughs at his own joke. An uncomfortable silence rises between you, and Monty abruptly changes the subject. He taps the narrow illuminator panel with one finger.
Look, there's a storm rising. The lightning is strange. Green. Should lightning be green? This is my first sandstorm.
A man with a mustache and a blue jumpsuit is standing at the window. studying the construction site below through the occasional break in the clouds. His badge reads Igor Patan, planner. The blue taps on the glass with one finger and gestures you to come and take a look. Seems like he doesn't speak English. Using sign language, mimicry, and all of your artistic talent, you're able to communicate with the planner. Once he's sure you're watching, Patanin points up in the direction of Spire Station, from which you departed a few minutes ago. He sketches the outline of the station on a broad, foggy section of glass. Once he's finished, the blue turns to you with a delighted expression. The blue begins to mark up his diagram with a series of footnotes and numbers. Turns out the station's ring diameter is a bit more than 1,500 meters. Its height above the dome is 317 meters, and the total height of the spire, including the loading docks, is nearly 720. With a series of confident strokes, the planner delineates the capsule's movement scheme, drivetrain, and massive hydraulic brakes on the glass. This time, Igor is quite laconic. He pauses, then confidently writes cargo and personnel in block letters. And beside it, he writes relics and draws an arrow pointing up. His R is turned back to front. The engineer stops you with a gesture, and after rummaging through his pockets, offers you a small candy. There is a picture of a crayfish on the white wrapper. It's surprisingly spongy and tooth-achingly sweet. You can only wonder what it has to do with crayfish. A thin, pale young woman is sitting at the window, leaning against the illuminator. The glass is slightly fogged with her breath. She turns to you. Her shiny badge reads Tomoko Kimura, physiologist.
We've crossed the border. No way back now. Even traveling by the funicular wasn't so thrilling.
The white presses small hands to her blushing cheeks.
You were thinking, why have no children been born under the dome? I've got a working hypothesis, but I'm not ready to share it yet.
She says softly, as if answering a question you didn't ask. Kimura peers through the glass in the direction you indicate.
Oh, that's the aircraft that crashed into the dome during the first expedition. I believe that's a wing fragment, and there's some white canvas. What do you think that is? Maybe a parachute?
The white shakes her head, bewildered.
I just can't believe it. It's all true. We're on our way to meet the future.
Kimura shoots you a surprised look.
You're familiar with the details of the briefing, right? To put it simply, the dome is a selectively permeable environment.
The white draws an invisible hemisphere in the air.
Inorganic objects may exit the dome without difficulty, but any living creature dies if transported back to the outside world. That's why we're all stuck here for an indefinite period of time.
Kimura listens without interrupting, as if considering your every word.
It's quite possible. I would like to set up an experiment to test this in practice.
She cuts off, abruptly. You exchange glances with the rapidly blushing Kimura.
Not in that sense. I mean, yes, in that sense, but it is science, you know? It's quite serious.
She purses her lips shyly.
This experiment requires at least one man.
Kimura blushes even more.
I mean, oh drat, you've got it all wrong. I meant to say that one of the participants in the experiment should be a man, and the other should be a woman, which should be obvious.
Stopping by the door's porthole, you watch as the ground slowly approaches. It looks brown-black through the tinted glass, and smoky blue at the horizon. It almost seems like the clouds are pulling apart there. You scan the desert for any sign of the anomalies you've heard so much about. A flat, dark form hangs in the air above the horizon. It vaguely resembles a mushroom cloud, but with a much denser structure. In the distance, you can also see a strange, apparently man-made wall rising from the sand. All the radio ads and TV shows were telling the truth. This place really was made for those who place their trust in. Just as you're about to move away from the window, you notice a whirlwind beginning to form above the ochre plain. The gathering storm drifts unhurriedly above the desert, a crown of green lightning flashing at its core. Clearly no ordinary weather phenomenon. It must be one of those anomalies. You freeze by the window, unable to avert your gaze. You return to the window. The outlines of the landing site, blurred by clouds of dust, appear behind the greenish glass of the porthole. The capsule shudders as the braking devices engage.
Come here. Come on now, or you'll miss everything.
A cheerful man in a white lab coat grabs you by the sleeve. A badge reading Ludovico Nuzzi, scientific analyst, export department, dangles loosely on his clean uniform, which still smells pungently of washing powder.
Look over there.
He points upward with a sharp, wide gesture and hands you his field binoculars. You raise the binoculars to your eyes. Under fourfold magnification, the whirling cloud above the rust-colored plains looks even stranger. Its core glows with flickering green light and flashes rhythmically, and that rhythm seems to form a complicated pattern. Nuzzi bends close to your ear.
Fascinating. Do you want me to bring some filters? If we intercept the red and blue spectrums, we'll see something amazing. It's like a signal, some kind of message.
Without tearing your gaze away from the binoculars, you turn around slowly, studying the dome's horizon. It's somewhat unexpected that the dome looks horribly empty. Your eyes find some construction pits dug directly in the sand, and concrete blocks laid beside them. There are almost no roads, or not sealed ones. Only one highway with yellow surface marking stretches among the sand drifts. The scientist looks blankly at you, then down at his lab coat.
Ah, this? This?
He lets out a blaring laugh. Ludovico points at the building behind him.
I work in Concord Station, categorizing relics. My job is to classify them by rarity. Then the blues package them, silvers issue the documentation, and oranges move them to the cargo capsule. Just like the one you arrived in.
Nuzzi points upward.
Then the capsule takes the relics way up there, all the way to the spire, then to Crystal Sands by the funicular. They get auctioned off and turned into money. It's not like I endorse this, but we all like ourselves a good paycheck, right?
He offers you his binoculars once again.
Do you want to have a look at the spire? It's amazing. But then you can look at the spire anytime. Now that sandstorm, that's what's truly amazing.
Nuzzi looks from you to the capsule and to the landing terminal entrance. He flings his arms up.
Oh, mi scusi. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. You'd better get going or you'll be late for check-in. Your colleagues are already inside. And the storm is growing stronger. Yeah, the storm is growing stronger.
The white mutters in fascination, eyes glued to his binoculars, which is fixed on the spinning whirl of clouds.
And I was starting to get bored. Come back again.
I'm all ears.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world
It was nice chatting.
a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Hello, come up to the desk, please. I'll register you.
What are you sneaking around here?
I'm gonna call security now. Goddamn ninja.
Just great, Mr. Salutations. Have a good one. I'm gonna call security now. You goddamn ninja. I can see you. Hey, I saw. I'm gonna call security now. You goddamn ninja. Just great, Mr. Monty James. With luck like yours, I wouldn't spend any money on the lot. Huh? What? Come back again. I can't believe it. I'm surrounded by thieves.
A tall receptionist watches you from behind his desk with a bored, haughty look. He waves impatiently at you to approach. The employee glances at you indifferently. His upper lip is ever so slightly curled.
All new employees must register first thing. Come up to the desk, please.
The nameplate on the desk tells you you're talking with Dean Rayhet, administrator. The administrator slaps himself on the forehead.
Ah, I almost forgot the regulation pre-registration greeting. Just a second.
Rayhet produces a reel-to-reel tape recorder from beneath the desk, rewinds the tape to the beginning, and presses play. The speakers explode with a harsh, crackling sound, over which the tick-tick of a metronome slowly grows loud. Solemn music begins to play, and the administrator's face takes on a serious expression.
Dear employee, on behalf of the Cronus Foundation, I, Administrator Dean Rayhet, welcome you to your new life under the dome.
The administrator clears his throat and continues.
By joining our company, you choose the path of science and progress. You are among mankind's best, and we ask that you live up to this.
Dean squints down at the monitor.
Deserve this title. Do your job honestly. Obey the law. Respect your colleagues, and
The music fades, and the administrator finishes his speech.
together we will build the best possible future for all mankind.
Dean puts the tape recorder away.
Now that we're done with the official greeting, I'll register you and upgrade your Selectron.
Dean's forehead scrunches up as he studies the computer screen.
Just a minute. Seems you're already in the database. Ah, there's a note confirming you've been registered on another terminal. And a second note that your Selectron has been updated.
The administrator clicks a button, apparently scrolling through your account.
Nothing here about briefings, though. So I'll bring you up to date. Do you want the short version or the detailed version?
Rayhet snorts.
To make it short, get your uniform from storage, your weapons from the armory, pass the Psi abilities test, and complete your weapons training at the training zone. Then learn how to use the scanner, avoid anomalies, and properly catalog anything you observe. Last, go to the waiting room and wait for the bus to Magellan.
Dean sits back in his armchair.
That's it. I hope there aren't any questions.
Rayhet claps his hands in satisfaction. He reaches for the tape recorder, but thinks better of it.
Protocol calls for a little welcoming preamble, but dash it all, that's nonsense. Welcome to Concord Station.
As he's about to turn away, Dean suddenly remembers something.
Oh yes, I sent your mail to your Kairos. Check your new messages. Well, that's all, I think. I think a stranger was in here. I have to notify security.
What do you need? Yes.
Well?
You get out now. Yes. You get out now.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be
A tall, the rape salt, the
The lock's been broken. I hope they didn't take anything.
Drop again.
attention, attention. Please handle relics. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Transition station was erected. It was called the Spire. It's a pure engineering miracle.
What do you want? Bye-bye.
Built nearby.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Behind the storage counter, you see a small, neat guy. His gingery hair shines with something like brilliantine. His badge says, Sidney Maynard, storekeeper.
Oh, what a lovely angel. Came down from the heavens. Good morning, my lady. Is it something urgent?
Remember, our
By the
honest
way,
work
my
will make
name's
the world a
Sidney.
better place.
My friends call me Sid,
A better
though
place.
I prefer a different name. Want me to whisper it to you?
He smiles languidly, leaning on his elbows against the counter. The effect is more laugh-inducing than playful. Never taking his gaze off you, he reaches under the counter, loses his balance, and clips his chin on the desktop as he falls down. A full minute later, he reappears, grimly rubbing his jaw with a thick logbook. He thumbs through it for a long period, squinting nearsightedly. Eventually, he gives up the struggle and reluctantly puts on his glasses. The silver finally stops and pins down a particular page with his finger.
This is your first uniform requisition, right? You can also purchase any equipment you need for the desert directly from me.
Maynard smiles at you over his glasses, practically stripping you naked with his gaze.
Your voice is enchanting, my lady. I could listen to it forever. Right now, you need to listen to me. I am going to give you some instructions. These are the rules.
Sidney fiddles with his hairstyle.
So, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Life under the dome can be dangerous. You may get shot, spill acid on yourself, get electrocuted, or suffer the effects of a dangerous anomaly. You may also freeze to death or get fried. That's why it's important to wear protective equipment when traveling outdoors. Of course, in hazardous situations, the equipment will get damaged, and the more it's damaged, the more often one has to repair it.
The silver steps back from his counter to indicate the repair kit boxes piled in the back of the warehouse. He points back at the shelves behind him.
We've got repair kits for this gear. There are Blue Wing specialists ready to help you at any large base, of course, but they're not always available. So, you'd better learn how to use repair kits and workbenches on your own. It's a useful skill.
Sidney leans on the counter again and throws you a lazy wink.
No one would ever say no to a cutie pie like you, though. Those are all the instructions, by the way. Shall we get to the giving, partner?
The silver disappears into the back for a while and returns with a small package. Unfolding the package, Maynard shows you a brand spanking new uniform. Sidney proudly shakes out a bright white jacket. It more resembles a thick mantle than a lab coat.
Look, this is the most advanced clothing under the dome. It protects from acid, aggressive fauna, and radiation. Not very effectively, though. Don't expect miracles.
He raises a finger.
One more important thing. In accordance with Order 16-225, helmets and gloves are not issued, but they're available for purchase from me. Please bear in mind that a full set includes headgear or a mask, jacket, trousers, gloves, and boots.
Sidney hands you the package.
Here's your uniform. Enjoy.
Sidney waggles his eye. Sidney leans on the counter.
Honestly, lady, I'd sell you this entire place and give you an incredible discount if I could. But I'm not the one who sets the prices.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
The silver touches your hand lightly.
I just wanted to say, I'll be finished at 10 today. If you're free, we could go somewhere. Together, I mean.
Anything urgent, Mr. Crutchlow?
Katarzyna, did you mark it as Class 1 again, instead of 2? Look, here's the scanner data. It says the relic is a scientific device.
Wait, but it's still class 1. I'm not going to violate protocol.
Katarzyna, my dear, you may violate protocol as long as it benefits the company. Take your lead from your colleagues. Correct your report if you have to, and don't act so innocent. Vladimir, I'm done. I'll be marked Class 2 fragile.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
This Class 2 needs access to state-sealed goods.
The smell of good tobacco wafts off this tall, portly woman from a meter away. A black lacquered pipe, an open logbook full of signatures, and a metal flip calendar sit on the counter in front of her. A small nameplate reads, Margarita Tkachenko. The woman fixes her coppery hair with one hand and casually lights her pipe.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Her voice is deep and gravelly. Margarita thumbs back a couple of pages in her logbook.
I see. This was your first receipt.
She glances at her Kairos, looks at you, snorts, and retreats to the shelves. Tukachenko returns a couple of minutes later, carrying something that looks more like a toy than a weapon. The weapon seems weightless as she spins it around her finger.
I ain't telling you shit about this thing, 'cause that's exactly how much I know. Laser, schmazer, cadmium battery, fiberglass body, blah, 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 blah. You probably know more about it than I do.
Margarita drags on her pipe and releases a puff of thick, yellow smoke.
I see you know the rules and won't cause problems.
Tukachenko bites down on the stem of her pipe.
Are you kidding me? I'm a different breed. One that doesn't understand toy guns. What if it turns out to be radioactive? Sorry, but I can't help you out on this one.
The Black regards the Andromeda suspiciously.
Fuck it. If it breaks, bring it back and I'll trade it in for another one. There was a little cloth in the box it came in for cleaning the lens. That's all I know.
The armorer shrugs, puffing indifferently on her pipe.
It's the least I could do. We have a requisition list from the Silvers. For free, you receive only rubbish. If you want the real deal, check out the weaponry shop. Or me. Wait a minute. Sign your name here in the meantime.
Margarita reaches under her counter and produces a set of ammunition.
A new set of ammo is issued for every task, but there's so much bureaucracy you'll go daft. Expenditure report. Form number 16. Disposal form. The Silver's running true to form. So if you need more ammo, I recommend you either search or barter for it. Or learn how to craft it on your own. These are useful skills. Trust me.
Leaning over the counter, the Black points somewhere off to one side.
Now it's time for your training. Botherby is already waiting for you by the big gate. He's a bit dotty, but a good man nonetheless. But before the training zone, go see that wizard guy with his toothpicks. Be careful around him, though. Don't let him pitch you a line. Psychic my ass.
She winces in disgust. Tukachenko.
Your life will be forfeit.
Are you trying to hide?
I'll complain to the Silvers about that idiot. They'll take the appropriate measures. I hate those oranges. What the hell do they break locks for?
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Well, you've got quite an aura. You're a natural.
A lean Silver with thick black hair and a huge cigar clamped in his teeth is sitting in front of you. As you approach, he flashes a sly grin and slowly raises an outstretched hand above the table. Something really weird happens. All the paper clips, pencils, scattered toothpicks, and bits of trash float up from the table and hang in the air. The silver badge reading Andrei Mihai, Science Instructor, floats up as well. You thrust your hand forward, and your outspread fingers emit barely visible sparks of energy. Pencils, paper clips, toothpicks, and pistachio shells dance chaotically in the air. The Silver sticks out his lower lip as if to say, not bad, and gives you a thumbs up. The objects clatter back onto the table.
Here for the briefing, huh? Shall we get to it?
The Silver props his elbows on the table.
Anyway, here's the deal. It's more profitable for people with a high psyche to study psionics. Give me your hand.
Not waiting for an answer, he grabs your hand with strong, dark fingers. He jerks his hand back at once, then touches you again, carefully and distrustfully.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You know you've got one hell of a talent, huh? Slimy little bastard, you. You want to take my office, I know. But you sure got some power there.
The Silver takes a thin glove covered in talc from his desk and passes it to you.
Look, a glove, right? But it isn't just a glove. This is an ooh mama hold me tight glove. It takes energy from your noggin, your psyche, and pew concentrates it.
He counts off on his fingers.
Learn psionics. Put on the glove. Transform energy into the necessary shape. That's the whole briefing. Simple? Simple. Now to your questions, huh?
The Silver takes a pull at his cigar and releases a self-important puff of smoke.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Psionics. It's a gift for all of us. The forefathers took off someplace. Poof, gone. Only the dome remains. And this. Psionics, huh?
He rocks back in his armchair, puffing on his cigar. The toothpicks again slowly rise up. Mihai spreads his dark hands. Toothpicks hover around his head in a kind of halo.
Scientists say everyone has an organic skill called psyche. You have it, I have it, everyone has it, huh? Big psyche, you got talents. Small psyche, no talents. You'll need to carry a lighter all your life.
Honest work will make the world a better place. A better place.
An engineer in a bright blue jacket is tinkering with the door lock, cursing under his breath non-stop. Blowing a curly strand of hair off his forehead, he turns to you.
You're a newcomer, right? It's a straight-up open house here today.
The technician slaps the door with one hand.
You have to wait until I'm done. Some orange jammed up the lock with chewing gum just for a laugh. They're like animals, those oranges, marking their territory. If you ask me, they're too gracious about those bastards in Crystal Sands.
Penkovsky grunts angrily.
I wish I could. I'm gonna have to disassemble, clean, and reassemble it to get it working. It's work I don't need, and all thanks to some idiot.
Maxime extracts a thin, sharp, precision probe from behind his ear and dangles it in front of you.
Though there's another way. You want to learn something about picking locks? It's a useful skill in all sorts of situations.
He looks at you expectantly. The Blue's getting excited.
All right, looky here.
Penkovsky presses his pick lock, and an odd device resembling a hybrid of a screwdriver and a can opener into your hand.
Using a mechanical pick lock is easy peasy. No special skill required. They wear out after a few locks. While the old-fashioned kind is another thing entirely. Cheap, one use. But one has to know how to use it right. That's a tool for a master.
Maxime takes out another pick lock and crouches by the door. He gives you a quick lesson on how to pick a lock.
By the way, you can carry your tools in your belt. It's much handier to have them right there.
Penkovsky shows you his utility belt, where he keeps all kinds of tools and gadgets.
Actually, finding tools under the dome is no problem at all. There are even devices for hacking terminals and so on.
The Blue solemnly raises his index finger.
And one more thing. Always use brand name stuff if you can. Groovy produces good kits. Modus and Supercolor do too. They've all got fat contracts with Cronus, so they care about quality.
He looks at the door again.
Damn these locks. Though I'd rather be doing this than fixing hab pods. Those are a real pain in the ass.
Penkovsky gives you a patronizing look.
Because they're poorly made. Warped from the heat, and the filters aren't worth a damn. The modules were constructed by marketing managers, not engineers. Building a city in the desert was also their idea. This project is all about PR. Cronus wants to show the world how tough they are.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Get a lockpick and attach it to your utility belt. And then, apply it to the door. Yes, apply is the proper word. You're doing great. All right, off you...
Penkovsky wearily drags a sleeve across his forehead.
You're lucky. And I'm stuck here with the cleaning and repairing. When you get to Magellan, say hi to Duncan for me. Tell him he still owes me that Captain Hyena issue from January.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Robbed again. What kind of folks would do this?
The lock's been broken.
World, a better place.
Damn, can't believe it.
Welcome under the dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Greetings! Come back again.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place.
Hey, first day under the dome? You feeling lost and scared? Worried about ravenous forefathers in the IRS? You
Strangest to
need
sci-fi
something but
here.
don't know
The
exactly what
detailed
it is?
plans
Contact
are-
us.
Therapeutic saunas. I don't know about you, but I'm sure I'll come here in a year and will feel like a real queen.
We're the ones who
This
formed-
is Victoria Legrand and the dome from the inside. See you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, this
How
is
can I help?
the dome from the inside with me, Victoria Legrand. As you can see, there are endless salt pans in the western region behind me. The sun reflects blindingly from the salt, and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset.
Oh, hello there.
Relics carefully. In case of damage,
And
your
I
life will
fully
be
agree with
forfeit.
you, but
Now it's starting to get boring.
that in a year you'll be lying by a swimming pool, sipping a margarita right on this spot. Sounds like a sci-fi story. But
And
we
I-
aren't strangers to sci-fi here. The detailed plans
It was
are
nice
ready.
chatting.
And according to them, there will soon be a real resort city in the west. With bars,
A middle-aged black is sitting behind the counter with his hands in his lap. The buttons and zippers on his uniform are polished to a shine, and even his badge, Winston Botherby, instructor, has been buffed so much it hurts to look at it. Botherby frowns as you approach.
Your first act is being late for the briefing. You going to be late for your funeral as well?
The black looks you over.
Yes, I see the weapon received check mark. Looks like you are fully prepared to disappoint me. You are prepared, right, employee?
Botherby leans over the counter and directs you to the doors.
Behind this door is a combat simulation computer. Launch.
He raises his index finger.
The conditions in the training zone closely simulate those one would experience in the field. Your goal is to avoid getting lost and dying of dehydration.
Pulling a notepad from his pocket, the instructor jots down your name.
Your goal is to hit 3 targets. I'm going to monitor you and advise as necessary. And try not to burst into tears. That's all. What do you need?
Botherby nods, grandly.
You made it through training without making a total fool of yourself. Congratulations. I'll send a report up the chain about your completely unanticipated success. You're dismissed, employee.
That in a year, you'll be lying by a swimming pool, sipping a margarita right on this spot. Sounds like a sci-fi story, but we aren't strangers to sci-fi here. The detailed plans are ready. And according to them, there will soon be a real resort city in the west. Bars, casinos,
Okay, you got me, Butch. Old habits. You know that.
Shall we continue?
Continue. Come on. Don't be shy.
Hey, come on now. Start over. He only did it once.
No, Butch is right. I ain't gonna argue with him.
Curse you and you slime ball. If I find out you cheated, your mama won't ever see you.
None of our mothers will ever see any of us again. Damn dog. I'm alright. I'm dealing.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Have a good one.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Hey, you. Yeah, you, lady. Stop blinking like a dummy. I'm talking to you. Don't scrunch your... Hey, you. Yeah. Good day to you. It was nice chatting.
Attention, all employees, clear the robbed again. What kind of folks?
And I was starting to get bored.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully.
Come back again.
In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Our honest work will make the world a better place. World, a better place.
Damn it. I was robbed. Come back again. What are you sneaking around here for?
Quit sneaking around. I hope whoever did this chokes on what he's stolen.
Attention, attention.
What?
Please handle
Again?
relics carefully.
I'm all ears.
Damage, your life will be forfeit.
Have a good one. Forgot something? See ya.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Damn, can't believe it. I'm surrounded by thieves.
Damn, can't believe it. I'm surrounded by thieves.
I fully agree with you, but what if I told you that in a year you'll be lying changes to sci-fi here. The detailed plans are ready.
Yes,
And
we
according
know
to
all
them,
about your needs
there
because
will
we're the
soon
ones
be
who
a
formed
real
them.
resort
And now
city
I'm
in the
offering you a
West.
solution.
With
Listen to my
cars,
brief educational
casinos.
lesson.
Please stand by for decontamination to end.
I don't know about you, but I'm sure I'll
Worried about
come here
Ravenous
and
forefathers and the
will
IRS?
feel like a
You
real-
need something you don't know
This
exactly.
is Victoria
Contact
Legrand,
us.
and there's no
First day under the dome? You feeling lost and scared? Worried about ravenous forefathers and the IRS?
Attention, attention.
You need something but don't know exactly what it is?
In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Contact us. We're Silverwing.
You see a tall scientist in a white lab coat, bathed in the dim lamplight. He almost appears to be hovering above the laboratory floor.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
The man turns at your footsteps. He's holding a paper clipboard and a pencil. His shimmering silver badge reads Sebastian Van Olden. He glances from you to the glittering watch on his wrist.
I want us to respect one another's time. Please speak loudly, clearly, and to the point. You must be the newcomer I was told about. Nice to meet you.
Finished with his unusual greeting, he offers you his thin hand. The scientist puts the clipboard aside, raises his watch for a closer look, and sets the time. He shows you his watch dial.
According to the rules of this briefing, I have to touch on a large number of topics. Therefore, I will do so very briefly. Do not interrupt me. When I'm finished, I'll answer your questions. Within regulations, of course.
Sebastian produces his handheld and clicks some buttons.
I checked your scanner. It's working and is connected to the Minerva database. Everything you scan will earn you Kronos or Forefathers knowledge points.
The instructor watches you with displeasure.
Are you listening? Scan everything that might be of scientific interest. First of all, anomalies. They could be dangerous. Make sure to always have medication with you.
He places a canvas pouch in your hand.
This pouch is full of bolts. You can temporarily discharge an anomaly by throwing a bolt into it. It's primitive, but reliable.
Van Olden pushes a button on his stopwatch.
So, my oral briefing fell within the allotted span of time. Any questions you want to ask me?
Sebastian snorts skeptically.
Oh, great. You're even ignorant of the basics. Minerva is a mainframe located at Magellan Base, where you'll be going soon, by the way. The Minerva disk stores the database containing every piece of information about the Dome and the company's employees. It is thanks to this scanning that the database is constantly updated. Are you ready for the second part of the briefing, or do you have any more questions?
The instructor looks at his chronometer again.
Handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
The White scowls in annoyance.
Do you know anything at all? What did you come under the Dome for anyway? You get knowledge points for scanning objects. For scanning anomalies and relics, you receive Forefather points. Scanning the company's property and employees, living or dead, earns you Kronos knowledge points.
He explains with a sagacious expression.
You can exchange knowledge points for medication and equipment as part of the volunteer research program. Are you ready for the next part? The clock is ticking.
The instructor taps his watch meaningfully. Sebastian pulls a scanner from his pocket.
I will demonstrate this only once. To switch on the scanner, press the button on the right side of the manipulator housing. The scanning beam is narrow. It's intended to focus on one object at a time.
Van Olden turns on the scanner and continues.
My advice is to scan anything that might be of scientific or statistical interest. Relics, forefathers' objects, automatic doors, vehicles, vending machines, deceased employees.
He turns the screen so you can see it.
The scanner automatically transmits data to the Minerva system, and you receive knowledge points. Do you have any questions, or can we proceed to the practical part of our briefing? You'll need some one-use stimulator injectors, bandages to stop bleeding, and anti-radiation agents and radio protectors, including ARAD-3.
The White ticks these off on his face. He produces a black-capped, transparent plastic jar out of his pocket.
According to protocol, you should have this medicine. I'll give it to you as soon as we proceed to the practical part of the briefing. Are you ready,
The researcher winces.
Why do I have to spell out every single thing for you? Take a bolt, throw it at the anomaly, and it goes off. Any more?
The scientist glances at his watch again.
You're within the time limit for questions. The next step is training in the artificial ecozone.
He rests one finger on the button in preparation to start the timer.
You're going to go downstairs and scan relics. I will be monitoring your progress. Please note there are several radioactive anomalies in the ecozone. These are the same conditions you'll be working in the field. Radioactive zones and relics are quite common under the dome.
He smoothly extracts a jar of yellow pills from his pocket.
Here's your ARAD-3. And one more thing. Just a moment.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage,
Ladies and
Careful around the anomaly. Touch one of them and you'll be injured. Toss a bolt at the anomaly to discharge. Don't touch the relics with your hands, employee. Use your scanner. Radiation sickness will not add to your knowledge. Journal entry. A successful scanning attempt. You're doing all right so far. Go ahead. I'll keep an eye on you and make sure you don't screw it up. Journal entry. 2 objects scanned. And again, watch out for anomalies. Touch one and you'll be injured. Toss a bolt at the anomaly. Journal entry. All 3 objects have been successfully scanned. Come upstairs, employee.
Sebastian meets you on the platform.
Your finishing time is within the acceptable range.
He clicks the stopwatch button, fixing the result time. The scientist turns back to his notes.
Not bad. One question. You observed several anomalies while scanning. Why do you think they appeared? I'd like to hear your opinion.
The scientist assumes a superior expression.
I knew you'd come up with something like that. I see you understand nothing about the nature of anomalies. So let me add a couple of points.
He glances at the shimmering blue light in the ecozone.
The truth is, we don't know the precise reason for these phenomenon either. We actually know nothing, no matter how much we try to convince ourselves otherwise.
Sebastian points a thin finger at the clustered lightning.
I personally believe that the anomalies are the dome's security mechanism. The ones you saw are relatively harmless, but there are different anomalies in the desert, phenomenon that toy with the human mind.
Van Olden clasps his hands behind his back.
I know you don't care, but I'll say it anyway. Scientists today are required to be wonder workers who can heal cancer with a wave of their hand and solve the secrets of the universe during their coffee break. For some reason, no one wants to understand that fundamental science is always an investment in the future. It produces no answers here and now.
The White's gaze strays back to his clipboard.
If something terrible happens under the dome one day, and I'm sure it will, science will protect no one. That is all. Off you go. Oh, hello there.
It was nice chatting.
What are you Hey, I saw that. I can see you, you know.
Hey,
Robbed
first under the
again.
dome.
What kind of folks would do this?
We're Silverwing. We know what you need better than you do. Yes, we know all of it. Worried about ravenous forefathers in the IRS? You need something that don't know exactly what it is. Contact us. We're Silverwing. We know what you need better than you do.
Damn, can't believe it. Surrounded by thieves.
Please stand by for decontamination to end. That in a year, we'll be lying by a swimming pool, sipping a margarita right on this spot. Sounds like a sci-fi story, but we aren't strangers to sci-fi here.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Yes, we know all about your needs because we're the ones who formed them. And now I'm. Hey, first day under the dome? You feeling lost and scared? Worried about ravenous forefathers in the IRS? Where'd you come from? Hey, first day under the dome? You feeling lost and scared? Worried about ravenous forefathers in the IRS? You need something but don't know exactly what it is? Contact us. We're Silverwing. We know what you need better than you do. Yes, we know all about your needs.
Where'd you come from? Hi there. I hope to see you again soon.
Ed, spit it out. I can see that something's bothering you.
Well, it's a bit of a private matter, you see.
God. Come on already.
We can't just hand Miss Norway over to the Silvers.
Employee, please come here. This is urgent task.
I'm listening. I hope to see you again soon.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Good day to you. Have a good one. It was nice chatting. It was nice chatting.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
How can I help? Hey, I saw that.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
What the hell are you doing here?
Robbed again? What kind of folks would do this?
Glad to meet you. It was nice chatting.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Remember, our honest work
station 2.
Damn, can't believe it. I'm surrounded by thieves.
Still nearby. Thanks to the efforts of our brave...
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully.
The selectron level is not enough. Access denied.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World, a better place.
We're Silverwing. We know
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Damn, can't believe it. I'm surrounded by thieves.
first day under the dome? You feeling lost and scared? Worried about ravenous forefathers in the IRS? You need something but don't know exactly what it is? Contact us. We're Silverwing.
Remember,
We know
our
what you
honest work will make the world a better place. World, a better place. Attention, attention.
Worried about ravenous
Please handle
forefathers in the
relics
IRS?
carefully.
You need
In
something
case
but
of
don't know
damage,
exactly what it
your
is?
life will be forfeit.
Contact us. We're Silverwing.
Robbed again. What kind of folks would do this?
Educational lecture and receive an illustrated leaflet. Don't worry. Dome? You feeling lost and scared? Worried about ravenous forefathers in the IRS? You need something but don't know exactly what it is? Contact. What the hell are you doing here?
Robbed again. What kind of folks would do this?
Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, there are endless salt pans in the western region behind
Hey,
me. The
first
sun,
day under the lost and scared?
and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset. What an inhospitable wilderness, you'll say. And I fully
Winston's leather boots creak rhythmically as he paces back and forth in his office.
real resort city in the west, with bars, casinos.
Are you trying to hide?
Robbed again. What kind of folks would do this? You again? Robbed again. What kind of folks would do this?
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Damn, can't believe it. I'm surrounded by thieves.
Robbed again. What kind of folks would do this?
We're Silver. We know what you need better than you do. Yes, we know all about your needs because we're the ones.
Please stand by for decontamination to end. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Dome from the Inside with me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, there are endless salt pans in the western region behind me. The sun reflects blindingly from the salt, and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset.
We're Silver.
What an inhospitable wilderness, you'll say. And I fully agree with you. But what if I told you that in a year, you'll be lying by a swimming pool, sipping a margarita right on this spot? Sounds like a sci-fi story. But we aren't strangers to sci-fi here. The detailed plans are ready. And according to them, there will soon be a real resort city in the West. With bars, casinos, spas,
Listen to my
and
free
therapeutic
first day under the
saunas.
dome.
I don't know about you,
Feeling lost and
but I'm
scared?
sure I'll come here
Worried
in a
about
year
ravenous
and will
forefathers
feel
in the
like
IRS?
a real
You
queen.
need something
This
but don't
is
know exactly
Victoria
what it is.
LeGrand
Contact us.
and the Dome from the Inside. See you next time.
Feeling lost and scared? Worried about ravenous forefathers in the IRS? You need
Ladies
something
and
but don't know
gentlemen,
exactly what it
this is the Dome from the Inside with me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, There are endless salt pans in the western region behind me. The sun reflects blindingly from the
Attention,
south. And
attention.
the air is as
Please
dry
handle
as a
relics
nun's
carefully.
casket. What an
In case of
inhospitable
damage, your
wilderness,
life will
you'll
be
say.
forfeit.
And I fully agree with you. But what if I told you that in a year you'll be lying by a swimming pool,
Contact us.
sipping a margarita
Silverwing.
right on this spot?
know what you mean.
Sounds like a sci-fi story.
Yes, you know
But
all
we
about
aren't strangers to sci-fi here. The detailed plans are ready. And according to them, there will soon be a real resort city in the west.
Scared?
With bars,
Worried about
casinos,
fathers and the
spas,
IRS?
and
You need
therapeutic
something you don't know
saunas. I don't know about you, but I'm sure I'll come here in a year and will feel like a real queen. This is Victoria LeGrand, and the dome
And now I'm
from the
following
inside.
Hey, first day
See
under
you
the
next
dome?
time.
You feeling lost and scared? Worried about ravenous forefathers and the IRS?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the dome from the inside. With me,
Worried about
Victoria
ravenous
LeGrand.
forefathers and the
As you can
IRS?
see,
You need
there are
something but don't know
endless
exactly
salt
what it
pans
is.
in the western
Contact us.
region behind me. The sun reflects blindingly from the salt, and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset. What an inhospitable wilderness, you'll say. And I fully agree with you. But what if I told you that in a year, you'll be lying by a swimming pool, sipping a margarita right on this spot? Sounds like a sci-fi story. But we aren't strangers to sci-fi here.
Yes,
The
you know all
detailed
about
plans
your
are
needs,
ready.
because we're the ones who
And
formed
according
them.
to them,
And now I'm
there
hey,
will soon
first
be
day
a
under the
real
dome?
resort
You
city
feeling
in the
lost and
west.
scared?
With bars,
Worried about ravenous
casinos,
forefathers and the
spas,
IRS?
and
You need
therapeutic
something but don't know
saunas.
exactly
I don't know about you, but I'm sure I'll come here in a year and will feel like a real queen. This is Victoria LeGrand, and the dome from the inside. See you next time.
Contact us. We're Silverwing. We know what you need better than you do. Yes, we know all about your needs.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the dome from the inside with me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, there are endless salt pans in the western region behind me. The sun reflects blindingly from the salt, and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset. What an inhospitable
Hey,
wilderness,
first day under
you'll
the
say.
dome?
And I
Feeling
fully
lost and
agree with
scared?
you. But what if I told you that in a year, you'll be lying by a swimming pool, sipping a margarita right on this spot? Sounds like a sci-fi story. But we aren't strangers to sci-fi here. The detailed plans are ready. And according to them, there will soon be a real resort city in the west.
We're
With
Silverwing.
bars,
We know what you
casinos,
need better than you
spas,
do. Yeah,
and
hey, first day
therapeutic
under the dome?
saunas. I don't know
You feeling
about
lost
you,
and scared?
but I'm sure I'll come
Worried about
here in a
ravenous
year and
forefathers
will
and the
feel like
IRS?
a
You
real
need something
queen.
but don't know
This
exactly
is
what it is.
Victoria
Contact
LeGrand,
us.
and the dome from the inside. See you next time.
Worried about ravenous forefathers and the IRS? You need something but don't know exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the dome from the inside with me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, there are endless salt pans in the western region behind me. The sun reflects blindingly from the salt.
Don't
And
hey,
the air
first day
is
under
as
the
dry
dome?
as a nun's
You feeling
gusset.
lost and
What
scared?
an inhospitable wilderness, you'll say. And I fully agree with you. But what if I told you that in a year, you'll be lying by a swimming pool, sipping
you
a
know all about
margarita right
because
on
we're
this
the ones
spot?
who formed
Sounds
them.
like a
And now
sci-fi
I'm
story. But we aren't strangers to sci-fi here. The detailed plans are ready. And according to them, there will soon be a real resort city in the west. With bars, casinos, spas, and
Contact us.
therapeutic saunas.
We're
I don't know
Silverwing.
about you,
We know what you
but I'm
need.
sure I'll come here in a year and will feel like a real queen. This
Please stand by for decontamination to end.
from the inside. See you next time.
You need something but don't know exactly what it is. Contact us. We're Silverwing. We know what you need.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the dome from the inside with me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see,
Don't worry. Hey,
there are
first day under the
endless
dome?
salt pans in the
Feeling
western
lost and
region
scared?
behind me. The The sun reflects blindingly from the salt, and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset. What an inhospitable wilderness, you'll say. And I fully agree with you. But what if I told you that you'll be lying by a swimming
Scared? The IRS? You need something but don't know exactly what it is? Contact us. We're Silver family. We know what you Yes. National lecture and receive an illustrated
Wow. Variable wavelength. Maybe it's a reaction to the scanner? Would do this.
Remember, your honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Someone broke the lock.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Sydney playfully smooths down his... The silver assumes a serious expression.
There's nothing I can do about that. It's a result of the recent cost optimization order. Luckily, you can purchase these items from me. At market price, but yeah.
Sydney leans on the counter.
Honestly, lady, I'd sell you this entire place and give you an incredible discount if I could. But I'm not the one who sets the prices.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage,
The silver wink.
your life will be forfeit.
Speak quickly. Get out.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
I can see you, you know.
Robbed again.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life
The giant display glows welcomingly when you approach. A red light comes on under the screen's steel hood. A gray old man with high cheekbones appears and squints out at you from the screen.
Do you copy?
He leans close to the camera, his glasses glittering.
My name is Martin Kingsley. I'm Chief Officer of Magellan Base. We were supposed to meet in person, but unforeseen circumstances prevented that. One moment. I'll grab your file.
He reaches for something out of view and produces a thin folder with your name on the cover. Apparently, your file. Kingsley opens the folder to thumb through the pages. He marks one of the pages with a pencil.
White Wing. You know, I have a great deal of respect for our science division, and I find the people intriguing as well. I shouldn't ask, but how did you come to choose this profession?
Martin writes something in his journal.
I'm glad to see you here. Honestly speaking, our medical staffing requirements is about 47% filled right now. That's inadequate.
Kingsley closes the file and folds his hands in front of him.
Thank you for your reply. I learned a little more about you. Now I want you to learn a little bit more about us.
He assumes a serious expression.
When the dome was discovered in 1971, it became a scientific and media sensation, a worldwide phenomenon, and likely the most significant discovery in the history of mankind.
Kingsley drums his fingers on the unseen desk, his gaze focused somewhere beyond.
I see. You were enticed here by radio advertising, telefilms, and all those interviews, billboards at every turn. Cronus wants the world to see the dome as a stage where something merry and fascinating is going on. But now that you're actually here, I want you to see the real picture.
You can't make out his eyes behind the glare on his spectacles, but he seems to be staring directly at you.
Here's the truth. Nobody was waiting for us inside the dome. It's neither a treasury of technologies nor a cemetery of the ancients. Perhaps what we're doing now is defusing the world's most complicated bomb. Will our mission thrive? I believe so. If we work together and everybody does their part.
He looks back at your file.
I say, do what must be done. Because that's what the concept of the 5 wings is all about.
Kingsley points at the camera.
You're from White Wing, and everybody else, even I myself, is working to allow you to do your part. But the inverse is also true. People are eagerly waiting for your results, discoveries, brilliant solutions to intractable problems. Some progress to justify all the catastrophes and tragedies that happen here under the dome.
Putting the folder aside, he sits back and stares at you in silence. It gets so quiet that the ticking of a clock can be heard through the speakers. Kingsley sighs quietly.
You were probably waiting for some boilerplate welcome speech, but I prefer to talk about real-world problems. Glad to meet you.
Martin nods slowly.
I apologize once again for this long-distance meeting. Now, as we don't have much time, I'd like to get to the point. I'm sure you're curious why you were taking off the bus to Magellan and brought here instead.
He moves closer to the camera.
I'm going to show you a short video. Please pay attention.
Kingsley's face freezes on screen.
I have an urgent mission for an employee of your background and qualifications. I'd have assigned someone from Magellan, but I'm short on personnel. That's why it has to be a newcomer. I apologize again for the rush, but it seems I have no choice.
Martin noisily clears his throat.
Maybe you've heard about Nashville Base. While preparing the materials for this mission, I came across a short documentary film about the complex. I think you should watch it.
The speakers produce a hollow click. Purple, gray, and black spots flicker on the screen. A blurred title, The Cronus Archive 1971 to 1974, was used in the production of this recording, appears at the bottom. You're not really interested in the movie. Instead, you eye the austere interior of the guard room, the switches on the panel, and the dusty window facing out on a well-lit storage area. Not far from the staircase, an orange tractor truck is standing amidst the shelves and containers. It must be the one from Magellan Station. Catching the word Nashville, you turn back to the screen. The speaker's voice seems to come from a distance. In November of 1973, a massive network of underground caves and a structure of hitherto unseen complexity was discovered in Sector C-12. Soon afterwards, the construction of C-12 Nashville began. The camera glides through dim caverns as the silhouettes of bizarre mechanisms emerge. Metal structures loom up from the dark, surrounded by earth-moving machines and exhausted miners wearing orange jumpsuits. The speaker continues. C-12 Nashville is an innovative research complex located atop the primary relic mining location. The complexity of this object is unique. Communications The film abruptly cuts out, and Kingsley's face reappears.
The rest of this information is classified. Hopefully you get the main idea. Nashville is a very special place, requiring people with both special qualifications and special clearance level, though yours will do for your task.
Martin adjusts his glasses.
So, the task. Nashville Base stopped transmitting and receiving signals yesterday evening. A reconnaissance group was sent out earlier today, but we haven't heard anything from them yet either.
The chief officer rubs his forehead.
Normally, I would never give this task to a newcomer like yourself, but I just don't have enough people.
He looks down at the documents again.
Furthermore, the group was lacking someone with your specialization. It has been reported that nearby anomalous zones are unusually active. I suspect a scientific approach will be needed to resolve their communication problems.
Kingsley is looking into the camera once more.
Your task is to get to Nashville, figure out whatever's behind the communication problem, get in touch with the group, and work with them to solve the problem.
The chief officer carefully returns the documents to the folder. You notice his hands tremble slightly.
Go downstairs. The truck must be waiting for you in storage. This task is urgent, but a small delay is acceptable if there's anything you need to settle here first. That is...
Kingsley's hand reaches toward the camera.
Great to hear. Take care of yourself. I'll talk to you later.
Did you see that storm? Hell, you want me to go back out there?
Those are the rules, Todd. Nothing I can do about it. Sorry.
Damn. Good day. Well, hello there.
Attention. Attention.
Come back again.
Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit. Attention. Attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Worried about Ravenous forefathers and the IRS? You need something but don't know exactly what it is? Contact us. We're Silverwing. We know what you need better than you do. Yes.
Attention. Attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage,
Listen to my
your life will be forfeit.